Alright, so after, 7 years since X-Men The Last Stand came out, we finally get a sequel to that storyline. You know, since then we've seen Wolverine in an X-Men Origins, a prequel, and we've seen him in a cameo in First Class, but I remember, you know, when when Last Stand came out, and there was, you know, I was just like, shit, I cannot wait for the next chapter in this story, and I was super pumped up with Darren Aronofsky and whatnot, but, you know, as this movie, the news for this movie went all over the place, I had pretty, like, mid-level expectations, just stopped thinking about it as much, and the trailer just made me not want to think about it at all. It looked so bad, and it just looked like this cheap movie that was just thrown together when it should have seemed like this, you know, huge sequel, and it didn't feel right. But this movie was actually pretty awesome. It wasn't amazing, but I think it fits in line with, you know, the original X-Men movies, and it's definitely better than Origins. It's dark, but it's still funny, and it's just so much fun, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, which has always been, a strength of the series. And I'd say, it's better than Last Stand, probably, and just fits in there nicely with the first two. Now, Hugh Jackman is fucking ripped in this movie, let me tell you that. He is just enormous, and he really just is bringing the game on this performance. You know, it is dark and full of terrors. And so basically Magneto's out of the storyline at this point. At this point. So they basically need a new kryptonite. They need something that, because, Wolverine's basically invincible, except for Magneto, because it's metal and whatnot, right? So now they need kind of something to replace that weakness. So it's like, oh, him trying to lose his immortality, so there's that. Rila Fukushima, the girl who plays Yukio, or just the one with the pink, she basically just reminded me of like a mixture of the chick from Kill Bill, the first one, the girl from Scott Pilgrim, and the girl from Pacific Rim. And I'm not saying that all Asians look alike, I'm just saying that they all, in this case, looked pretty much and acted pretty much very similar. I thought it was just a really fun movie. I wasn't necessarily sure about like the end, like the climax, because it just didn't feel like, or just the little reveal in the storyline. I just felt that it didn't really make sense. I'm not saying that it couldn't have worked, I just felt like they didn't build that up in the movie enough. Like, I feel like there was just parts of the story that were just there, and they didn't really... I know they had to be planned out because of the comic and whatnot, but it didn't feel like that. Viscerally, this movie is amazing. The opening sequence is just awesome, draws you right into the film. And I think just overall, like, this is a pretty damn good movie. It gets you jacked up, it gets you Hugh jacked up, and that's pretty much all you need to know to go see it. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. I really dug this movie.